right now. It is a strange legacy to attach to yourself, but he has done it.
With us, we have White House reporter for the Associated Press, Jonathan Lemire. Donnie Deutsch is here as well. Republican strategist and MSNBC political analyst Susan Del Percio, and host of MSNBC's Politics Nation and president of the National Action Network, Reverend Al Sharpton, joins us. So we have such a big day ahead of us, Joe.
We really do. We really do. And Mika, we could talk about impeachment. Of course, the IG report's coming down.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out this week what the IG has said. It's gonna blow apart Donald Trump suggesting that Barack Obama was crawling around in his office space at Trump Tower and tapping phones. The IG is going to blow apart so many theories. We could talk about that. We could talk about that fact that North Korea now is openly insulting Donald Trump as a dumb old man, or whatever words they use. We could talk about there's so much, but I think Donald Trump this weekend spoke for us all.
Yeah.
I really did, and I have no problem admitting this. I think he spoke for us all when he talked about the single issue that is most pressing to our great republic at this time. Take a look.
We have a situation where we're looking very strongly at sinks and showers and other elements of bathrooms where you turn the faucet on in areas where there's tremendous amounts of water, where the water rushes out to sea because you could never handle it, and you don't get any water. You turn on the faucet, you don't get any water. They take a shower and water comes dripping out, just dripping out, very quietly dripping out. People are flushing toilets 10 times, 15 times, as opposed to once. They end up using more water. So EPA is looking at that very strongly, at my suggestion. You go into a new building or a new house or a new home, and they have standards on where you don't get water. You can't wash your hands practically. There's so little water comes out of the faucet. And the end result is you leave the faucet on, and it takes you much longer to wash your hands. You end up using the same amount of water. So we're looking at very seriously at opening up the standard. And there may be some areas where we'll go the other route, desert areas. But for the most part, you have many states where they have so much water that it comes down. It's called rain, that they don't know what to do with it. So we're going to be opening up that, I believe.
The czar of toilets, soon to be appointed. But, you know, Jonathan Lemire, I always thought it was so romantic, and we like to idealize our presidents. You know, Kennedy had Robert Frost read for him at the 1960 inauguration, and it really, I thought, it set the mood for Camelot. Here you have the President of the United States quoting Edgar Allan Poe in the middle of just a very pedestrian news conference at the White House. The water comes dripping out.
Oh, my God.
It's dripping out. Very quietly. Dripping out. Lemire, what say you?
Joe, I try to think of myself as I ask questions for a living. I never thought to ask the president how many times it takes him to flush the toilet. 10, 15 times,
it takes
apparently.
10 to 15 times, Jonathan.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to have really, as you said, identified the central issue of our age as we move forward with impeachment and IG reports, foreign policy crisis. But apparently it's the low flush toilets that are first chief among his mind. Yeah, this is sort of, we're not really sure where this came from. We certainly asked the White House if perhaps they're having issues with the plumbing in the building. It is an older one. It's undergone some renovations lately, and maybe it's the sinks or the showers. Perhaps the president is hearkening back to his time as a developer. Maybe he's at Trump Tower. They have high flush, powerful toilets. But we'll keep asking, Joe. We'll pursue this. Don't you worry.
Was he serious?
Yeah, he had the type of toilets, I guess, where you could, like, flush it, put a cinder block in, and it would break it up. I don't know what he's talking about, Donnie Deutsch, but I do think when he's talking about flushing 10 or 15 times, this is one more example of everything the president's saying, either a projection or a confession.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I'm going to pause here because there's so many ways to go with this. First of all, he's probably talking about Doral or Mar-a-Lago or any of his other crappy properties.
A lot of bed bugs at Doral,
you know,
by the way.
If you just kind of saw that, they're like bed roaches. They're not even bed bugs. They're like big.
No, the bed bugs. I saw that guy's back at Doral after he went to Doral.
When he sued.
And bed bugs just all over the place.
You know, that's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That's a crazy person. I mean, really, if you were going to, you know, get a therapist in to look at that and to that drift in that mind and where he was going, that's not a well man.
No.
I mean, we kind of laugh, but if you just took that in a vacuum and you looked at that, that's somebody. If that was Uncle Joe, I don't mean Uncle Biden. If that was Uncle Louis, whatever, you'd call the internist and you'd say, should we get him checked? Because that's a mind that's not right.
All right. It's called rain. Let's move on. It's expected to be another consequential week in the impeachment.